And let's begin with breaking news coming in of ED officials being assaulted, attacked in Bengal when they were doing their duty. They were heading to a location in North 24 Parganas district to carry out a raid in connection with the ration scam that they are investigating. TMC leader Shah Jahan Sheikh's residence was all set to be raided. Searches were to be conducted when more than 100 to 200 locals surrounded ED officials as well as the Central Armed Paramilitary Forces. The mob attacked the ED and the Central Force vehicle. This, in fact, even as the Enforcement Directorate has been conducting searches across Bengal to crack the ration scam. The ED team was attacked by villagers when they reached close to the TMC leader's residence. And the vehicle of the ED Assistant Director was attacked and vandalized, as you see there on your screens. Anupam Mishra joining us live with more details on this highly condemnable incident that's been reported right now in North 24 Parganas. Anupam, ED officials out there to do their job, to conduct searches, were targeted by locals. Is there a question or a suspicion that these were villagers who were amassed by the TMC leader?
Exactly, unprecedented events unfolded today morning when one ED team reached Sheikh Shah Jahan's residence and they started shouting his name. And when no one answered, the ED team started unlocking the lock. And then there around 100 to 200 villagers gathered and they started protesting initially. And then they became violent and they started chasing ED officials who were with the central forces, but because of the women members were present there, they had to leave the village, and this is the unprecedented situation. And now the information which we are getting, the followers of Sheikh Shah Jahan were there, who were protesting there around 100 to 200, and these villagers are followers of Sheikh Shah Jahan, who is the block member of the TMC in Sandeshkhali area. So ED is looking into the matter, and it is looking into the matter very seriously. This is a very grave and serious situation out there when ED officials went there, and ED officials are trying to assess the situation. Several persons of ED had also been injured in the event when they were being chased down. So it's a grave situation out there at present.
Okay, any word right now on what's the latest, and were any ED officials also injured in this assault on them?
One or two ED officials were injured with the information which we are getting, and ED officials started raiding this in connection with ration scam, and they started raiding in 3 or 4 places in North 24 Pargana. But apart from other places, the situation became violent in this Sandeshkhali area only, which is controlled by Sheikh Shah Jahan, who is very notorious TMC leader out there. And the followers
I'll come back to you,
Sheikh
Anupam. I want to bring in on this broadcast Mr. Rahul Sinha of the BJP. Rahul Sinha ji, आपको क्या कहना है इसके बारे में? जब ED officials एक TMC नेता के घर पहुंचे तो 100 लोग उनके ऊपर हमला किया।
देखिए, उस बशीरहाट इलाका का पूरा माफिया डॉन है शाहजहां से, और शाहजहां ने बहुत अत्याचार उस इलाका को किया। ये पैसा तोला उठाता है, सारे दुर्नीति का जड़ है और तृणमूल का लीडर है। तो इसीलिए शाहजहां शेख का जो गुंडा लोग है, वो लोगों ने ऐसे हमला बोला, और मैं समझता हूँ ऐसा लीडर को सबक सिखाने के लिए और बड़ा अभियान होना चाहिए तुरंत, और इनको सबक सिखाया जाए। कारण राज्य पुलिस उनका साथ है, सरकार उनका साथ है, कारण तृणमूल उसी इलाका को जीत ही नहीं पाएंगे। ये शाहजहां का कारण ये लोग एक सांप्रदायिक माहौल भी उधर पैदा कर दिया और साथ साथ एक भय का माहौल भी पैदा कर दिया। इसीलिए
राहुल सिन्हा जी, जो हुआ है क्या आपको लगता है कि ये एक इमोशनल आउटबर्स्ट था उनकी सपोर्टर्स के बीच में, या प्री प्लान्ड था?
कोई इमोशनल आउटबर्स्ट नहीं है, ये प्री प्लान्ड है। और इन लोगों ने ऐसा काम इसके पहले भी बहुत बार किया। इसके पहले भी एक बार पुलिस उनको गिरफ्तार करने के लिए गए थे, तो उस समय भी ऐसा ही हुआ था। तो इसीलिए ये जो गुंडा इज्म का बलबूते पर वो काम चलाना चाहता है, और ऐसा ही इसने प्री प्लान किया और इसका खिलाफ जोरदार कार्रवाई होना चाहिए।
Gee, Rahul Sinha, thank you very much for joining us here on India Today. So the BJP is saying that this was a conspiracy, that this TMC leader is almost like a local goon, and that's why resorted to this kind of an attack by bringing villagers and locals together. Anupam Mishra is still with us on this broadcast. This is turning quickly political, Anupam, with the BJP saying that this was a planned attack on ED officials by a TMC leader.
Exactly, the incident which unfolded today, it will turn into political scenario because you see the vehicles of ED officials have also been ransacked. Media vehicles have also been ransacked out there, and BJP already started blaming TMC that this was not an emotional outburst. This was totally planned, but it is subject to investigation whether this was an emotional outburst or it was planned. And I think the ED will also try to investigate into this angle also. But right now, ED officials are trying to assess the situation because they wanted to carry out raid in connection with ration scam in two leaders, Shankar Adyo, the other leader who is in Bengal. One ED team is also raiding there, and they are raiding it very peacefully. But the other team which went to this Sheikh Shah Jahan's residence, the situation unfolded violently there, and the public, around 200 villagers gathered, and they almost chased away ED officials out there. Two ED officials have also been injured, and they have been brought back to a local
There are
hospital.
some images now, Anupam, which will play out for our viewers also in just a bit, of people completely blood-soaked. There's a man with clearly an injury to his head. Are those ED officials? Is that how gravely they've been injured?
Actually, we are not sure about whether ED officials are gravely injured or not, but we are getting information that two ED officials have got injured, and they were being brought back to the local hospital there for a treatment. So it'll be clear in a while that whether they will be they are gravely injured or not. So, but there are some injuries out there because the protest started. When the protest started, it was peaceful initially, but when ED officials tried to unlock the residence, then it started violently. The mob started acting violently, and they started chasing the ED officials. ED officials were there with central security forces, but they had to walk away from that area because the number of the villagers were very high on that situation, and they needed to back from that situation when the protest started getting violent.
But there will be also a question, because Anupam, you did tell us that this kind of trouble has broken out previously as well, of villagers attacking, ransacking officials in this manner, vandalizing also. And you see those images of how badly they've damaged the car in which ED officials were travelling. In such a circumstance, was adequate security not provided to these ED officials?
No, there was security, central security were there with them. But I don't know what happened, how much security was there with them, because the information which we are getting, the number of villagers were very high. There are around 200 or 300 villagers were present at the time of ED officials reached Sheikh Shah Jahan's residence. So it might be that the central security forces and the ED officials were outnumbered by the villagers. So this angle will also be investigated, and ED officials will also try to get the assessment situation whether they need to go with more security personnel whenever there is a situation like this, and whenever they are going to a area which may become violent when they reach there. So they will also assess this kind of angle.
All right. So this is, in fact, the latest that we're picking up of an attack on ED officials. They were heading to a local TMC leader's residence to conduct raids to investigate a ration scam in which he's an accused. But this is how they were targeted, with 100 to 200 villagers reportedly coming together and garrowing the ED officials' vehicle. 2 ED officers, as a result, have also been injured. We're trying to get you more details on their current condition as well. Let's take this across to Mr. Sukanta Majumdar of the BJP, the Bengal chief of BJP, joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Majumdar, what do you have to say about this incident? 100 to 200 locals, villagers targeting ED officials when they were going to raid a TMC Neta's residence.
See, the locals mean these are the Rohingyas, and we were actually stating these things, this information to the public of the country and as well as the state of West Bengal, that the Shah Jahan and other TMC leaders, they are working they are doing anti-India activities, and they are actually inhabiting the Rohingyas in different areas, and they are using them as a shield. So now it has been proved that the demand or claim, whatever we did in previous rallies as well as in press conference, it has been proved true, and this is the actual situation of Bengal. Whole Bengal needs to consider this situation, that what will be the future of Bengal if this kind of lawlessness is the future of Bengal. Then what will be the future of the other Bengalis in the state of West Bengal?
Suggesting, Mr. Majumdar, that this was an orchestrated attack by the Trinamool Congress on ED officials?
Hello?
Are you suggesting, sir, that this is an orchestrated attack by the TMC on ED officials?
Yes, it is a orchestrated attack, and it is planned. Even the police is involved in it. Police is also involved in it, and that this incident should be investigated properly.
Okay, all right.
In these regions of South Chobis Pargana, anti-India activities are going on. Anti-India activities are going on, and these activities are getting patronized by the TMC.
So you're saying that they're actually amassing Rohingyas to target officials, to target agencies, to target not the cops, but the officials like the ED?
Yes. It is orchestrated, planned, and these Shah Jahan Sheikh and others, TMC leaders, are there establishing the Rohingya colonies in different parts of South Chobis Pargana of West Bengal.
All right, Mr. Sukanta Majumdar, thank you very much for joining us here on India Today. The BJP alleging that this is all an orchestrated attack, no question of an emotional outburst, but that it was pre-planned, and even saying that this is a result of appeasement by the TMC, that they are amassing Rohingyas in this manner to create a law and order situation in almost every part of Bengal. See the images on the left of your screens right now. 2 ED officials have been injured, and you can see their plight in these images. It's pretty bad because 100 to 200 villagers gathered, blocked their car, vandalized it, and then started also targeting the ED officials inside the vehicle. There will be questions about really the security apparatus, but what do you do when you're facing off against 100 to 200 villagers who've gathered? Anupam, you heard what Mr. Sukanta Majumdar has said. He has in fact claimed that these are Rohingyas who are being brought together by the TMC to create law and order issues in areas, in districts like North 24 Parganas.
Well, all these allegations need to be subject to be investigation because I told you earlier that the events which unfolded today morning in Sandeshkhali will turn into a political scenario, and that is what's happening. Political allegations are flying very high. So the investigating authority need to investigate these investigations, whether these are true or false. But at present, one thing is clear, that the villagers has taken law in their hand. They have attacked an agency, which is a central agency, and this is very unreal and unprecedented event which unfolded today.
Here that the cops are in cahoots with this TMC leader and allowed this kind of a rampage, this kind of violence to take place in North 24 Parganas. Anupam, since the incident, have there been any arrests? Have the cops reached there? Have they brought the situation under control?
So far, we don't have any information that anyone has been arrested in this case. But we are getting information that the complaints are being filed in this case regarding the attack on ED officials to the West Bengal police, and police will investigate the matter.
Okay, so the investigation is still underway. The BJP alleging that this is a result of appeasement of Rohingyas in these areas. Villages coming together, 100 to 200 of them is the information we have, came together, stopped the ED officials while they were heading to TMC leader Shah Jahan's residence, who's considered to be extremely powerful in that area. Images on your screens of people injured. We're not yet sure if these are ED officials, but clearly the attack, this was a rampage. According to the BJP, they say it was completely pre-planned and done to target these ED officials in this kind of a gruesome manner. It's led to several injuries. 2 ED officials also have been injured. And you see the image of the car also vandalized. Clearly, there's been some stone pelting that's been reported there, as 100 to 200 villagers not just blocked off the car, not just stopped the ED officials from going forward and doing their duty, but also targeted, attacked, vandalized the vehicle and the officials inside with zero fear of law, with zero fear of repercussions. And so far, Anupam is telling us that there haven't been any arrests at least, or no statement that's come in from the Bengal police on what led to this incident. ED officials, of course, do travel with a considerable amount of security, but in the face of 100 to 200 locals gathering, they really don't stand a chance, which is what unfortunately has led to some injuries also being reported, like the ones you see on your screens as well. So even as we get you the latest, the political fight now peaking, has there been any statement that's come in from the Trinamool Congress on this?
Not yet. TMC has not replied yet officially. So we are trying to connect TMC over the issue and what has happened. Even we are trying to get the official version of West Bengal police also, which has not yet reacted on the situation out there. So we are trying to get information from TMC and West Bengal police.
We'll update you when we get in that information. But this was, in fact, raids that the ED was looking to conduct in a ration scam that they're investigating. And they're investigating it across Bengal. It's in North 24 Parganas when they were heading towards TMC leader Shah Jahan's residence in his village, that this kind of a situation broke out, where you see violence that took place, leading to several injuries as well. Anupam, once again, for the benefit of our viewers, if you could run us through exactly what happened, the exact sequence of events that led to people being injured, led to cars being vandalized in this manner.
Actually, ED started conducting raids in connection with ration scam today morning in several places of West Bengal, especially in North 24. So they went to 2 leaders' places. One is Shankar Arya, TMC leader, and second is Sheikh Shah Jahan. So when the ED team went to Sheikh Shah Jahan's residence in Sandeshkhali, initially they did not receive any resistance. But when they tried to open the lock of the residence of Sheikh Shah Jahan, then around 100 to 200 or maybe 300 villagers gathered there, and they started protesting initially. And the protest suddenly turned violent, and they started attacking ED officials who were with the central security forces. But maybe they were outnumbered, or maybe if they would have retaliated, it would have been a very bloodier kind of situation out there, because ED officials, the central security officials were with automatic weapons with them. So they thought it would be better to leave that place. And during that situation, when they were leaving that place, they were being chased away. And the vehicles of ED officials...
Anupam, stay with me. I also like to take in on this broadcast Mr. Fuad Halim of the CPIM. Mr. Halim, your reaction to what's played out in North 24 Parganas. ED officials headed to conduct a search of TMC leader Shah Jahan's residence, attacked. They were targeted by 100 to 200 locals who'd gathered there on the roads.
Made an impression with the BJP hierarchy. Because what you have to understand that the Bharatiya Janata Party has been using the ED all over India, especially in West Bengal, to ensure that people from the TMC join the BJP. Now, whoever makes an impression, who has local what you call strongman with them, who has money power, who has a lot of what you call unlawful money, these are the people that the BJP has been harvesting in West Bengal. This is Suvendu Adhikari. He was leader of the opposition of the BJP in the assembly. He was the one who was found with his hands filled with cash in the Narada scam. If you see the other people who joined, especially if you see Mukul Rai, who played a pivotal role in the upswing of the BJP.
So Mr. Fuad Halim, are you then justifying what's happened, how this attack has been orchestrated on ED officials as understandable anger?
Why has the ED run away from the field? They had a job to do. They had a specific brief to do, and they have run away from there. They have run away especially with explicit instructions from the top. You have to understand that this is how the BJP and the Trinamool are playing the game of here in West Bengal. And these are the people who show extensive what you call command over muscle power and money power, who ultimately join the BJP over here.
So you're saying this is orchestrated by both the TMC and the BJP?
This is what the BJP wants to see in West Bengal. They don't want to see people to go to the logical end. Which ED case has reached its logical end here in West Bengal. It's shameful for the BJP. You have to Finance Minister Arun Jaitley come to West Bengal and say that those people seen with large amounts of notes, which was the pivotal reason of the notebandi and the issuance of the 2,000 rupees note, which is taken away from Narendra Modi. You have to say that here, that the income tax department will come the next day. You make that what you call a categorical statement here in West Bengal before the 2000 Lok Sabha election prior to this.
Okay.
And once he went back to Delhi, nothing happened. Nothing is happening because of the ED. Nothing is happening because of all these investigations. You've got this high drama that's going on. You've got a host of people under pressure by the BJP joining the BJP. Other than that, nothing is happening. There's no logical end to this.
All right. Fuad Halim, thank you very much for joining us here on India Today with your view on what's playing out right now in Bengal. ED officials being targeted, attacked by a group of villagers when they try to do their duty of going ahead and conducting searches at a local TMC leader's residence.